Sales.
No. The South African teenager. What's his name?
You have to
He was writing exams a couple of, of months.
All the teenagers are writing exams.
But you can imagine. But you can imagine if your idol was Themba Zwane, and then maybe overseas your idol was Bellingham. But now you get to rub shoulders and compete in the same competition with them. Hello and welcome to another exciting episode of the Diski Preview Show. Thank you very much for tuning in. I know last week we had a break. What a well-deserved break we had.
Yeah, I know.
There was nothing happening anyway.
Yeah, we were transitioning from EPSL, League Football, Cup Football into international football.
Yeah.
So now we are full into the international spectrum.
Sipagat. Inside.
I think also, are we going to address the elephant in the room?
Let's see how it goes. I'm going to talk to the executive producer. I'm going to send him a little text to say, hey, can we? If we get the go-ahead, then we can unpack and go through
100%.
Fantastic.
We'll address that later. Then.
Yeah. Today we're going to be taking a look at the big game that will be happening over the weekend, featuring Mamelodi Sundowns on a global stage. They won the Premier League.
Mm-hmm.
They were runners-up in the Champions League.
Yeah.
Now they said, no, it's better for us to go and try and get better opposition in the likes of Dortmund. I know Fluminense is there. And then the other one is Ulsan HD in that Group F FIFA World Cup group.
Yeah, there's a lot going on there, but we'll unpack the full thing once we get into the show itself.
Yeah, fantastic. Let's take a quick break. When we come back, we'll be taking a look at Masandawana, how they're going to fare in that Group F. Thirty-two clubs will be participating in the FIFA Club World Cup, and Mzansi is well represented by the champions, that is Mamelodi Sundowns, Amasandawana. What a time to be alive if you were a Sundowns fan. Traveling Sundowns fan, because I know some of them will remain behind.
I mean, the Sundowns fans in the US, DJ Khaled.
Khaled. I saw he was
like, Sundowns is coming to South Africa.
They've arrived in America.
You know what I mean?
Why are you talking like Trump? Khaled doesn't talk like that. Doesn't speak like that.
What does Khaled say?
And another one.
And another one.
Yeah. It's exciting times for Mamelodi Sundowns as they go head to head with some of the best clubs on earth.
Well, this season we have to honestly say, Guti, we've had to become accustomed to a lot of new formats.
Yeah.
Starting with the UEFA Champions League's new format.
Yeah.
Now we're moving on to the FIFA Club World Cup's new format.
Yeah.
Which also means that Real Madrid, was it Real Madrid who were the last champions of the
2024, I think. Yeah.
I think so.
Yeah.
No, who won the last? Is it not?
Yeah, we'll have to check.
Man City.
We're gonna ask the executive producer to check for us there.
So we have to say that like they enjoyed that time they were champions, because they had to. It was Man City, yes. Man City were the last champions.
Oh yeah.
Real Madrid were the champions before that.
Yeah.
So Man City were the champions of 2023.
Yeah.
There was no 2024 champion.
Yeah.
Trying to make space for the 2025 FIFA Club World Cup. Because if you remember how the tournament used to take place, it used to take place in December of each year. This was to make provision for leagues like the CAF Champions League, which used to run from January to December. Also, the other leagues around the world, like the Copa Libertadores in South America, was also running on a different schedule. So you'll have the winner of the Libertadores meeting one of the other associations, which is CAF or Asia in the semi-finals. And the same thing with UEFA. Whoever won the UEFA Champions League.
It's quite an interesting format, eh?
Yeah, it was a very interesting format for quite some time. Mamelodi Sundowns, I do remember, made it. Did they make it into the finals itself? I'm not sure. What did they win? They won 2017?
2016, 2017, they lost two games, I remember. The first one was 4-1. I think the other one was 2-1. And the both games they were playing against Asian teams.
So they lost to Kashima in 2016, and they were out in the second round. So they didn't make it to the semi-finals. The person I was thinking of was Pito, because I think Pito has made it through to the finals with Ahly. But I'm not sure about that. So the FIFA Club World Cup has been a tournament that not many people have been, very privileged to follow full time, because it was like a top 8 basically. Played on one weekend, the teams are gone, the winner comes back, you were in the medal for the rest of the season. So now with this new format, I think the FIFA Club World Cup will reintroduce itself to many fans who enjoy the game, who enjoy football, and many of them will have to then become accustomed to what this tournament is all about. I've heard a lot of people say it's the first FIFA Club World Cup, and I'm like, no, it's not the first. We've had Man City, Real Madrid, Chelsea, Bayern Munich, Liverpool, Real Madrid 3 times in a row. Barcelona, Real Madrid, Bayern Munich, Corinthians were the last South American team to win it. And when you look at the history it has, I mean, it's quite a big competition. So Liverpool lost to Sao Paulo in 2005 after they won the UEFA Champions League against AC Milan in the final, and then International beat Barcelona in 2006 at the FIFA Club World Cup. So it's not a competition where it's always been European champions. Yes, there's been a dominance over the past decade of the European champions, but with this format, I think they were trying to address that, because Fluminense, runners-up last year, Al Hilal, runners-up the year before, with Flamengo falling at the semi-final stage, Tigres, Gremio, and so many other teams that have struggled to actually make it past into the final itself. The last African participant to make it into that last stage was into the final was TP Mazembe.
TP Mazembe
in 2010 when they faced Inter Milan. And then Upito, like I said, had a couple of brushes with glory, because Ahly did finish third when he was there as at the helm of
they were bronze medalists.
Yes, they were bronze medalists, but Ahly, in 4 of the last 3, they were bronze medalists. So to see how far this tournament has come, it's quite something to behold, because it was before. 2005, it was just a tournament where the winner of the Copa Libertadores and the winner of the UEFA Champions League came in and decided this tournament. Then they said, okay, let's open it up to the other associations. And then CAF and all of them came in. To see it evolve into what it is today is going to be an amazing feat. We're watching history unfold.
Most certainly. We're going to be watching a history unfold. And the other history that's going to be unfolding is for the youngsters at Mamelodi Sundowns. What does it mean if you're a youngster? I can tell there's, what's the name? The teenager,
Sales.
No. The South African teenager. What's his name? He was writing exams a couple of months.
All the teenagers are writing exams.
But you can imagine. But you can imagine if your idol was Themba Zwane, and then maybe overseas your idol was Bellingham. But now you get to rub shoulders and compete in the same competition with them. I think that's quite amazing.
It's very interesting because a lot of the clubs that are going to the FIFA Club World Cup, these are clubs that have been top of their game for the past 4 seasons. So you'll see former UEFA Champions League winners, finalists, former CAF winners, finalists, so forth and so on. The teams that have, on average, been the best around those different associations. And what it's done is that it's given the opportunity. This FIFA Club World Cup, it's given us the opportunity to see big names, not necessarily traditional names.
Big
names. Because Manchester United is missing, Liverpool is missing, Barcelona is missing. Just those 3 big names that are missing. And from the history of this tournament, if you look at the group stages, let's start with Group A. You've got Al Ahly, you've got Porto, you've got Inter Miami and Palmeiras.
Okay. Let's wait a little bit. Who do you think is going through
for Group A? I honestly think Al Ahly and Palmeiras will go through.
Okay.
I don't think Porto and Miami will be making it through.
Okay, you can continue. Group B.
Group B, we've got Atletico, Botafogo, PSG and Seattle. That one I see PSG just running away with that group.
Because they won the Champions League.
Honestly, I think the most ironic thing about this tournament is,
but I think PSG is going to be the team to beat.
I think PSG is the team to beat. But I think the most ironic thing is that Pep Guardiola will take this one home. I'm saying that from a position of, I looked at how Man City had their season. I was like, something is fishy. What's going on? So maybe they're holding out to win this thing. Maybe at the end of the season, we'll all be angry and Man City will be the champions of the world. And they will would have defended their title that they currently hold. Because don't forget, they are the current FIFA Club World Cup champions. If they go in and they win this one, they are actually defending their title.
Exactly.
So it's a conversation that needs to be had, but I don't think many of us are ready for. Group C, we've got Auckland City, Bayern Munich, Boca Juniors, and Benfica.
Who's going through there?
I don't know about this one, but I think Bayern definitely going to be going through there. I'm not sure about Benfica. I think maybe Boca Juniors or Auckland City from Australia might shock us. And then for Group E, it becomes more interesting. I mean, names that everybody knows. River Plate is in there. Monterrey is in there. Inter Milan is in there because they were in the final of the CAF Champions. I mean, the UEFA Champions League this season. And then Urawa is also in there. So I think between Inter Milan and River Plate, they should go on and top those two groups.
And now for the interesting one.
Group F. So Group F, Dortmund.
It doesn't look like a group of death, does it?
It doesn't. It just looks like Sundowns must just do the job. I mean, Fluminense themselves are not a team to just unganyata because of how they've performed in the past few years. And trust me when I say they do have some familiar names from the European game playing there. But I think Mamelodi Sundowns, they will have to challenge Dortmund in that game that they play against them because that will be a pivotal game. Whatever they do against Ulsan, everyone's expecting them to win. Everyone's expecting everyone in the group to beat Ulsan. So already Ulsan is already expected to be
eliminated.
Is expected to finish last. So against Dortmund, that's where they will definitely have to bring their A game. And if they do it, they'll be able to go on. Now, the group of death, Mr. E, since you like the word group of death, has to be Group G.
That's where everything is happening.
That's where everything's happening. I mean, you've got Ahly, right? You've got Juventus, you've got Manchester City, you've got Wydad Casablanca. Loch.
Mailula. Cash not deposit. He's going to be there. But one thing that I like about this competition, the FIFA, I think South Africa this time around is well represented across multiple teams, so to speak. We've got Mamelodi Sundowns, we've got Wydad. Which other team there do we have a representation from South Africa? No one in Ahly.
Ahly.
No one there.
When you say South Africa, you mean the continent or the country?
The
South of Africa
continent.
South of Africa or South Africa?
I mean as Mzansi.
As Mzansi. No, we've got enough representation, Mr. E. I mean, even the coach of Ahly at the moment just left Orlando Pirates to go to Ahly. So Sam Claim.
He's one of us.
Jose is one of us. So that's also South African representation for us there. I know he's Spanish by birth, but he's South African by dinner plate. Exactly. So no, it's going to be a big one for him. And I think people don't understand the logistics of trying to play a tournament in the US. And as much as all these teams are going to be kicking off, and because let's not shy away from calling it what it is. It's a dress rehearsal for next year's World Cup. So obviously
that's going to be held in USA/Mexico
/Canada. So if you look at it, it's a dress rehearsal. They want to see how everything will go. And this is the first time we have a tournament of this nature. And for a lot of these clubs, they'll be in preseason right now. And the transfer window was briefly open for clubs to get their business sorted out. So for the likes of Real Madrid, they have to try and incorporate the new talents they've just gotten in. They have to try and make space for the older talents that they have that you won't play every match. But at the same time, they all want to win this tournament because they know the prize that comes with it is quite a big one. So let me wrap up these last groups. Group H, we've got ourselves Al Hilal, Puka, and we've got Salzburg and Real Madrid. Then Chelsea have Flamengo, Esperance Tunis, and Los Angeles right there. So tournament is going to kick off with a match with Ahly versus Inter Miami.
That's going to be a big one to be on the lookout.
FIFA as usual, they prioritize Messi. They put him first, but guys, Messi, and then everything else will follow. So it's going to be a big opening weekend.
But Messi is a crowd puller in the USA,
100%,
so I think that stadium is going to be filled to capacity.
I think the world's going to be shocked when Jose Riviero beats Inter Miami. Because a lot of people will be thinking to themselves, right, Messi's going to tear the Africans apart. And only to find that the team of the century is not just a walkover. And this tournament, I think, for many of those watching this internationally, they should be, if you're a professional punter and you're chasing the odds and you're chasing your bets, I think this would be the right time to watch podcasts from around the world. This would be the right time to see what the Africans are saying about the African teams, what the Asians are saying about the Asian teams, the Europeans are saying about the European teams. Because if you look at the Inter Miami versus Ahly, you look at Jose Riviero and you think to yourself, who's this guy? You look at the talent at Egypt, you're like, who are these people? You look at Busquets, Messi, Suarez, who are all past their sell-by date. We're not saying Guti they're useless, but we're saying Guti, they're facing a fresh, you know what I mean? Like, Ahly got knocked out of the CAF Champions League in the semi-finals this season, and they got knocked out by a Mamelodi Sundowns that was literally on the verge of winning the tournament. So you have to understand that this Ahly is no joke.
It's no joke.
So
they mean business.
They mean business. So for Inter Miami, they'll have to be careful as they face a very, very, very talented and a very driven squad from Ahly.
Yeah, looking at Ahly, the new coach Jose Ribeiro, from plotting and planning against teams like Kaizer Chiefs, Mamelodi Sundowns, and maybe SuperSport. Now he's plotting against teams that include the likes of Messi.
Yeah.
Hi.
No, it's a well-deserved job. But Mr. E, you need to remember that this man went through the CAF Champions League undefeated until the match he lost and knocked him out.
Yeah,
that's we're talking about very high qualifiers.
Yeah,
we're talking about group stages.
Yeah,
we're talking about knockout stages.
Yeah,
undefeated.
Yeah.
The last team in the CAF Champions League that was left undefeated was Orlando Pirates.
But what
under the stewardship
you know what he should do right now?
Yeah,
he must get the defenders that he was using at Pirates to Al Ahly. Now we'll be having CBC going head to head with Messi. What a match!
Yeah, no, Mr.
Mbombela, he's there as well in the picture. Yeah. I think he's quite an exciting defender. I think if well groomed, he's gonna go places.
The only thing we're waiting for now, I've heard that the transfer window might close on the 13th of June.
Yeah,
and reopen later on as well.
Yeah.
So I don't know the Ronaldo chat, the Cristiano Ronaldo conversation. Because many were saying that he will find a club that's going to play the Club World Cup. So that's the question I want an answer to. Where is Ronaldo going to be?
Yeah, already.
Because he can't be watching it at home with us.
No.
Not the one.
He's supposed to be there.
He's supposed to be
playing there.
Sundowns, make a play.
Do you think they'll be able to afford him?
Mr. E.
Yeah.
Mr. E.
Yeah.
If Sundowns was to say Bafetu.
Yeah.
Family meeting.
Yeah.
Patrice Motsepe on TV there. Like Ramaphosa on TV and he says to us like South Africans.
Yeah.
I have a dilemma.
Yeah.
And we're like, what's going on, my chairman? And he's like, I need to pay Ronaldo millions of rands.
Yeah.
I ain't got it.
I need to bring him
But you guys need to come to Klorkop tomorrow and contribute.
Yeah.
There'll be a line stretching from Klorkop all the way to Santin. We're all donating.
I'm
we want him here.
That queue.
Imagine Ronaldo playing in the MTN 8 next season.
I'll make sure that I buy tickets to all the matches that he's going to be playing. But now looking at the team that will be having all our eyes on, that is Mamelodi Sundowns. How do you think they will be able to fare in that group that features some of the big teams on the continent, or rather on the global stage?
I love when tournaments start because we don't have to talk about form. You know, it's a new tournament. Form is out the picture.
And I see there's no head-to-head in this.
There's no head-to-head. Nah. But Mr. E, they've had FIFA Club World Cup experience before.
Yeah.
Yes, it was some time back.
2016, 2017, I think.
Yeah. So I think at this point we just have to say, Uti, we just have to wish the boys a good opening.
Yeah.
I know they've been preparing for this. They didn't even take a break. Yeah. After that final loss, they took a couple of days off. They went back to the training crowd.
Yeah.
They went back to the strategy board. Yeah. They are ready for the tournament. So I think against Ulsan, they're not going to waste any time in getting off the blocks in some serious determination. You know what I was saying to people? I was saying, Uti, FIFA Club World Cup is going to be an embarrassing tournament for FIFA.
Yeah. Not because
of any structural or planning or you see there. Look at that. Mascherano is the coach of Inter Miami. And on the other side you have Jose Ribeiro with Ronaldinho in between. So I was saying, this tournament is going to be embarrassing for FIFA because of the score lines.
Yeah, that we're going to be subjected to.
You put Bayern Munich against Auckland City. We all know Bayern Munich have no remorse.
Yeah,
we just saw
they'll just murder you.
We just saw Netherlands chow Malta 8-0.
Yeah.
So I'm expecting a few of those, especially in the group stages, like 8-0 here. Football is not at the same level around the planet.
Yeah.
And footballers are not at the same skill level around the planet at the moment.
Well. Yeah.
For some countries and for some federations, I mean, you're not to say that Asia is not at the level of Europe, but because they do produce Asian talents that go on and succeed in Europe.
Likes of Osong.
Exactly, but number one, the US, in terms of their level of football, in terms of where their football is not at the level of a Bayern Munich.
Yeah.
And Mamelodi Sundowns is not at the level of Inter Miami. You understand?
Yeah.
So we'll see a lot of imbalance.
Yeah.
And I think you'll see it in the odds with the bookmakers. I mean, right now, if we talk about the odds when it comes to Bayern Munich versus Auckland City, you've got 50 to 1.
So maybe the best thing
for
me
Auckland
to do,
City to beat Bayern Munich.
Yeah, so maybe the best thing for me to do as a punter is to try and play maybe over 2.5, 5.5 in terms of goals, as you are saying that it's going to be high scoring tournament.
Seattle Sounders is going to go there and face. And don't forget, like I said, these are the best performing teams on average over the last 4 years.
Yeah.
So your dream team that got you into this position might be gone by now. I mean, think about the boys who got Sundowns into the picture. How many of them are still at Sundowns?
I only know Zwane.
Exactly. Look at Ahly. Same thing. You understand? When we press it out with them, we're pushing with Ahly, winning those 3 bronze medals. Where are those boys now? They've been sold. So now it's new teams. It's new faces. I mean, before this tournament started, no one would have thought that PSG would go into the tournament as favorites. And now we're talking about PSG who just won the UEFA Champions League in amazing style, knocked out Liverpool, beat Inter Miami in the final. In fact, beat Inter Milan in the final in a fashion we weren't expecting. So the tournament itself, it's shifted in terms of who's got the power, who were the powerhouses. So there's a lot we can expect in terms of results.
Yeah, most certainly. Now let's look at Mamelodi Sundowns again. The coach, do you think is the right person to lead Mamelodi Sundowns at the FIFA Club World Cup? Because there's been a lot of conversations. I mean, starting back from the time that they lost to the Pyramids, a lot of people have been saying if it was Rulani, they would have picked up the second star. And they're saying quite a lot of things that is also so defensive in his approach. How do you think he's gonna approach this tournament in America?
Mr. E, when you play your first leg in South Africa, right?
Yeah.
And
that's a disadvantage.
I complained about it. Remember, I complained about it in the semi-finals.
Why both?
Why both semi-finals are being played South Africa then Egypt, not mix them. That you can't play a final in front of your home fans. And you have the majority of the stadium. And then we expect you to lose.
No, you can't.
Already for
the 13th man.
And psychologically, how do you think those players feel? I mean, when Sundown scored. They could hear the stadium shake. They could hear the stadium shake. So I don't blame the coach for that loss. I think it's a tall ask for us to ask him. And a lot of people were saying,
he should have fielded Uzwane. I think the problem was him not fielding Uzwane in the first game, and then people made a lot of noise about that. They thought maybe he was going to field him, and he did not again. So
I have to be the bad guy again and say that Sundowns has moved on from Zwane. Let's be honest. Sundowns is a Ribeiro team now. And I think
he's the man pulling the strings.
I think the sad part is that we're holding on, or maybe a lot of fans are holding on to Uzwane in the light of what he used to be for Sundowns. But Ribeiro is that guy. Ribeiro is the next.
He's going to be one of the guys to be on the lookout for. I mean, if you're planning against Mamelodi Sundowns, if you Dortmund.
Remember what I told you about Pyramids? Pyramids came to Sundowns in their first season of the CAF Champions League at Loftus. And I remember I was sitting in the booth there by the officials. And literally, those guys, when the game ended at a 0-0, they stood up like they won the game.
They knew it was advantage to
They
them.
knew. That's how serious Sundowns is taken on the continent. No one plays Sundowns like they're playing another team just in Africa. They play them like this is the best team in Africa. So when you go and give Sundowns the first leg in Pretoria, and you're like, go to Egypt and do what you did again. I mean, Sundowns were the better team on the day. Fiston Mayela, we knew was going to find a goal or two. He's the best striker on the continent at the moment. But the reality was that 13th man came, or that 12th man came into play when you saw Abu Ribeiro tired and down. Because of you're playing, you're jet-lagged. We don't know what other factors you went through coming into this game. And one thing I will say is that I don't really blame the coach. That's his second final in 2 years. I think if he goes back next year, he comes back with the medal.
He's going to come with it.
He's going to come back with the medal.
So do you think they will be able to go past the group stages?
I think Sundowns will go through the group stages. I think from Africa, you can definitely count on Ahly and Sundowns. Wydad, I think they're still too shaky. New coach. New playing style. They didn't even qualify for the CAF Champions League, so they're not the team they were.
Which team are they playing first? Mamelodi Sundowns.
Sundowns playing Ulsan.
Ulsan. Okay. Do you think they're going to win that one?
Sundowns, or you asking about Ahly?
No, Sundowns.
It's playing Ulsan.
They're going to win that one there. So it's over the weekend, right? At 12 a.m. I don't know if you're going to be able to watch that one there.
12 midnight.
Midnight. Yes. It's going to be at 12 midnight. Will you be able to watch that?
Mr. E. I'm not a Sundowns fan.
Okay.
Have you ever heard of this great invention they call highlights?
You're going to wait for them in the morning at 6 o'clock.
I've got into a place where I've matured beyond my football. Now I watch how the game starts.
Yeah.
I diagnose the situation and then I leave.
And then you know exactly what transpired there. You get an idea.
Funny enough,
so
from the past weekend.
Yeah.
So funny enough, from the past weekend, the UEFA Nations League final.
Yeah.
I was at my barber, we're getting a haircut.
Yeah.
And then I'm saying to my barber, because he's a big Lamine Yamal fan and a big Barcelona fan.
Yeah.
Saying to my barber, I'm like, Chief, you know why I came to cut my hair today?
Yeah.
He's like, why? I'm like, I don't want when your team loses tonight, Spain.
Yeah.
Then you come back and you don't want to cut my hair.
Yeah.
So cut me now so your team can lose tonight.
Before the game ends.
It's like, no ways. Lamine Yamal. It's like, what makes you think that Portugal can beat Spain?
Yeah.
I said, have you ever heard of this great invention called penalties?
Yeah.
Little did I know.
Yeah.
I got home.
Go all the way to the penalties.
I got home. I watched 5 minutes of the match.
I remember that game there. The last, I think I stopped watching it. I went to sleep anyway. I think it was like 2-1. I was like, I know what, I'm going to check the results in the morning because I'd already seen and I thought they were going to lose. That is Portugal. But I was surprised in the morning when I saw the results.
No, don't be surprised, Mr. E. There's a great invention called penalties.
Yeah,
that you should be on the lookout
if you use it very well, you can get positive results.
It's the best.
Okay, so what do you think the scoreline is going to be for Mamelodi Sundowns versus Ulsan?
Hey, Mr. E. Yeah. If you're asking me for my prediction, this is my final prediction.
Yeah.
I wanna do another big prediction.
Yeah.
Remember I said
you wanna do 2?
I'll do 2.
Okay.
I wanna see maybe I think I might have the groove, you know what I mean?
Yeah, no, I can feel you.
After the Portugal one I was like,
maybe you're getting good at this.
Maybe I want to something.
Good at this. Yeah.
So for this one I'm gonna give it to Mamelodi Sundowns, a win. But I'll urge a lot of people just to go for win draw.
Yeah.
Because just in case, because you don't know how jet lagged the guys will be, how much training time they've got on that side, are the conditions extremely. I mean, in rugby they talk about altitude.
If
you're at sea level, if you're at Pretoria in the high veld, and you understand. So we don't know.
Will come into play.
We don't know how those factors want to come into play. They're playing in Miami, so we don't know how those conditions are going to be for a team from Africa. Sun, humidity. They're used to the high veld, dry and high. So we will have to say at least go for a double chance there.
Yeah. Well, maybe if you can ask me my predictions.
Yes, Mr.
I think Mamelodi Sundowns might.
Who do you think is going to win the FIFA Club World Cup?
Well, I think
not this match, the whole thing.
The whole thing. Hey, that's going to be a tight one. Eh? Can I make that prediction next week? Okay. We're going to be here.
let's start with that.
Okay, but I think Ulsan is going to win this one. Okay. I don't think Mamelodi Sundowns will be able to pick up a victory basing it on the previous encounters with Asian teams.
All right, Mr. E. So I'm gonna do my second prediction now for the FIFA Club World Cup champions.
Yeah. Who's the outright?
Yeah, the outright.
Okay.
And just before I give you the outrights, here are the top 3 favorites.
Yeah.
Real Madrid.
Yeah.
Paris Saint-Germain.
Yeah.
Manchester City.
Okay, there's no Bayern Munich there.
No, there's no Bayern Munich there.
Okay.
Bayern Munich is the 4th.
Yeah.
Chelsea is 5th. Inter Milan is 6th.
Okay.
Then it's Atletico Madrid, Dortmund,
Who are
Juventus.
going to be the champions there?
And you know what I love most about that, Mr. E?
Yeah.
They're putting all the European teams first.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, they're saying it's going to be a European champion is what they're telling us.
Yeah.
So if you're going in and you're saying, okay, let me choose a part of the world where the winner is going to come from, you can go pick. If you feel like you want to be patriotic, it's 500-1 for Sundowns to win it. So if Sundowns wins it, you could 500x your money.
Yeah, I'll take my 100 rand and put it there. They might take this. They might surprise us. Okay.
So
who's taking this?
My prediction for the champions is Man City. I think the final
will defend it.
I think they'll defend it.
Yeah.
And I think if anything, it might be an African European final.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So,
let's see.
So African, you mean Ahly, not Mamelodi Sundowns?
No, African could be Ahly, could be Sundowns.
Wydad.
What do you mean Wydad, Chief?
Okay, let's just.
Yeah, but Esperance and Wydad have not been themselves, guys. If you guys been watching Champions League football, no, they've not been themselves.
Okay. Hey, those are the predictions of Mr. Mo here. He's saying, those are big predictions that you made. He's saying Man City is going to defend the title this time around. And he's throwing into the picture the likes of PSG. They might try and wrestle it away. But the final is going to be an European team.
African
probably
team.
Maybe Man City versus an African team, maybe Ahly.
100%. Don't say Ahly, maybe Sundowns.
Maybe Sundowns.
Yeah,
we're taking Sundowns all the way. At 500-1. I'll take my last 100 rand and put it there.
100%, Mr. 100%.
Yeah. And who do you think is going to win this year's FIFA Club World Cup. Do you think it's going to be Mamelodi Sundowns? I think it's going to be PSG. They've been phenomenal. I think they've been playing very well up until they won the UEFA Champions League. And Mamelodi Sundowns will go far this time around. I know a lot of people are saying they're too defensive and so on, but that's going to play to their advantage. They will not concede a lot of goals. And Ribeiro will make sure they go through. Let us 100%. Know in the comment section what you think about the FIFA Club World Cup. Who's taking it? How far is Mamelodi Sundowns going to go? And how many goals? Who's going to be top goal scorer? Is there a golden boot? Yes.
Yeah, there is a golden boot.
Who's gonna take the golden boot? Let us know in the comment section.
If Sundowns does sign Ronaldo in the next few days, he'll have the golden boot.
Oh, yeah. Okay. I can
already see the first comment. Mo is so crazy.
Thank you very much for watching this episode of the Diski Preview Show. Until next time.
Bye-bye.